Hello, and thanks for tuning in to Crosshairs Television. On today's episode, we're going back to a desert Wednesday evening in September for the first annual RenoCross, a UCI C1 race that is the successor to CrossVegas. We're at the start line for the men's elite race, and Cody Kaiser leads the charge as the field heads to the planks. Tobin Ortenblad, Lance Haydet, Troy Wells, Jamie Driscoll, Alan Krugoff, and Bjorn Sealander are right on Kaiser's heels as the field attacks the grassy track for the first time. The planks, a flyover, a riding wall, a tough sand section, and a whole lot of grass are on the docket for tonight's race. Haydet moves out front and puts some of that road racing form and technique to work as the race starts to take on the look of a fast-paced circuit race. Giant Factory off-road team Steven DeVos is not a name you hear every day in these UCI CX races, but he's a strong cross-country mountain biker and holding his own on the front of this race. The RenoCross crew worked non-stop to transform the park into a cyclocross party. The wall ride was a labor of love that added a little different look to your typical US CX track. Through the sand, and Vandenham takes a turn at the front. This race is a great opportunity to pick up C1 points, with it coming on a Wednesday 2 days before the Trek World Cup weekend starts in Wisconsin. It was a prime chance for a big result for those who dare to make the trip. Alan Krugoff can be counted amongst the riders looking for a good result. Riding strong, he takes a turn at the front with Clark and the always present Haydet up there too. It may be grass and it may not be super hilly, but this race was the perfect successor to CrossVegas, with similar heavy grass that put a premium on power. Taking turns at the front, it's now Clark's turn to put his head in the wind. The sand was tough to ride and was a rare feat to make it to the end still on the bike. It certainly wasn't faster. Here, Krugoff wins the unofficial farthest in the sand preem, but is passed by Driscoll as he dismounts. Since he's there, Driscoll does his duty and takes a turn on the front. The race is more than halfway done and the front is starting to get a bit more strung out. That being said, there are still 12 guys with a chance to win. Off camera, with 3 laps to go, Krugoff and Clark get tangled up at the front, which broke up the leaders and disrupted the flow of the race. With just over 2 laps to go, DeVos goes back to the front and starts to push the pace on the dark side of the course. Haydet is on his wheel. Although not typically associated with cyclocross, this was a race in which drafting could pay dividends. The wind that was really strong in the afternoon had died down for the night race, but was still present. Under the banner for 2 to go, and the leading group is down to DeVos, Vandenham, Haydet, Driscoll, Ortenblad, and Sealander. Kaiser, Wells, and Clark, who is coming back from the earlier crash, chased the lead group a few seconds back. With just over 1 lap to go, Haydet moves to the front and drives the pace. Driscoll and Vandenham are second and third, and Clark has put in the lap of the day to bridge to the back of the leading group. One lap to go, and a pensive group of 6 come through the finishing straight for the next to last time. The pace picks up, mainly driven by Haydet, who felt comfortable leading the way and being able to dictate the speed going into the maze of turns on the course. Haydet starts to stretch it out with the finish line a minute away. Driscoll hangs onto the wheel, trying to set up a final move. But as the group rounds the final turn, Lance Haydet is able to keep his lead and take his first ever C1 victory at the first ever RenoCross. Driscoll ended the night second, with Sealander in third. Vandenham finished 4th, and Clark fought his way back to claim 5th.
Lance, I know you've done this 100 times,
yeah,
but you need to just end the debate again. Pronounce your last name.
Hate it, like you hate it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I've been getting it right. I feel
exactly.
so good.
No, I was really impressed. So yeah. I felt comfortable just because it was like, I knew I was riding the corners and the downhills like really smooth, and was able to get a gap each lap when I was on the front, and was able to actually like recover a bit. And then with it being so fast in such a large group, it was like whenever it would slow up, the swarm would be pretty intense, and the fight for position would get a bit sketchy. So yeah, I just wanted to like stay near the front and yeah, try to keep safe and conserve until the end, because I knew it was going to be a big group until the last lap. So
more like a road race out there almost.
Yeah, no, for
tactically
sure.
and this, you know, this setup, a lot of people said, and it was my first comment too,
yeah,
like a traditional CrossVegas course.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, it was definitely a lot of tactical racing out there. And yeah, like luckily doing a lot of road this year and good crit racing this summer, it was like actually got to use it a little bit, chopping guys on the inside, and yeah, definitely pretty roady course out there. And yeah, actually really similar to CrossVegas.